Hello, dreamers, doers, believers, and achievers, wonderful winners, and powerful people. How are you? I'm Dwayne Shigg, and welcome to another edition of Talking Books. This is the place for people who like books, reading them and writing them. And on this episode, we are, I'll say, blessed to have with us Mr. Robert Matthews. He's joining us from Hyattsville, Maryland, and he is the author of, get this title, you all, She Was the Man and I Was the Woman. Now, you know I've got to ask him about that title. we're talking to Mr. Robert Matthews. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me. How are you?
I'm doing very well, doing very well. I want to thank you for being with us. Before we jump into the book, because I've got to get that title, I've got to talk to you about that title. Can you just give us a brief introduction about yourself? Tell us something about yourself.
Oh man, thank you. My name is Robert Matthews, aka Cool Rob. I'm a big. A lot of people don't know where I'm heavy on social media. I'm a YouTuber as well. I'm a new author, father, single father of two beautiful daughters. And I'm a security manager. That's my day job. I do.
Okay.
I'm a security manager for charter schools at that.
Oh, okay. In the Baltimore, in the Maryland area.
Well, actually, I work in DC. I live in Maryland.
Oh, okay. All right. Great. And appreciate you. And this, like I said, this title, She Was the Man. Yes. And I Was the Woman. Okay, I had another question planned, but that title right there. Tell me about the title. Where did that come from? And then I want to ask you, what was the motivation for writing this book? So we can kind of put both of those together, and you can answer them together or one at a time. But what was the motivation, and where did that title come from?
Well, I start off with where the title come from. So when I decided to write this book, and this was when I sat back and I just took a mental thought. I said, what can I write about? And the first thing I thought about was my love life, my relationship history. And the first relationship that popped in my mind was this one right here. This story that I'm retelling all over again in 2014. And so just when I dive deep and it's just in deep thoughts, throughout our relationship, she acted like the man, and time again, I acted like the woman. So it once I thought about the title, it was perfect. Actually, the title, I thought about that right away. Once I decided to write the book and knew what I was going to write about, then next was the title, and that came so fast. It was like nothing.
So, with that being the case, tell us what the book is about.
Good question.
I don't want you to give away too much of it, but just give us a nice tease.
Yeah, a little tease. It's a love story told all over again. It's based on a true story, y'all. So everything you see in this book is 100% accurate, not 99.9. It's 100%. It's about a guy who saw a woman when he first laid eyes on her. She snatched his soul, and from there he pursued this woman to be his wife. That's how he pursued her every day, every second, every minute of his life. That was the woman he wanted to be with. She loved him too. Trust me, she loved him almost just as much as he loved her. He probably had her a little bit more, but she loved him. But because she came from, previous relationship that was more mental than physical abuse, she just could not allow herself to fall in love with him. Even though she loved him, she wanted to, she just would not. And so I'm retelling that story all over again. So there's a lot of twists and turns. There's so much in this story, y'all. You got to get it.
Now, was this is this your story or story third person from someone else that you know, or you're going to take the fifth on that one?
Nah, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. This is my story.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yep. So that being said, what was the motivation for writing this book? Because I'm quite sure you'd have to be transparent, some hurt, maybe some embarrassment. So what was the motivation for writing the book?
That's a good question. So to start off, I'm a storyteller. If you know me from my personal life, I love telling stories.
Okay.
So I'm definitely a storyteller. And I actually wanted to see if I actually told a story, would people be, tuned in and really like engaged into the story. And what I could tell you and all your viewers, the people that see this, is that the people that actually bought the book said that they love reading it and they can't wait for part two, which we'll talk about later. And they just love the story. So yeah, and then also there's a message as well in there too.
Okay.
Pretty much me basically just if it's one message I can tell you right now is that if you're in a situation, man or woman, right, no matter how much you think you in love or you in love, if the signs is pointing this is not a good situation, then get out because you don't want to be like me. And this story, I could tell this story forever. To be honest with you, it took a long time for it to come to an end. But you got to read the story to see if it actually came to an end and how it came to an end.
Okay. Okay. So, love story, pursuit, heartbreak, defeat. So all those are all some of the things that are in the story.
Yes. So thank you for asking me that because right now it's a part one. Part two is coming out. It may be a part three. It could be a part four. So as I tell this story, pretty much you're going to get the thrill of victory, the agony of defeat,
Okay.
heartache and pain, love at first sight,
All of it.
all of it, all in one.
Sounds like an old school R&B song or a blues song. you know,
My favorite song, I don't know if you know this song, is "I Miss You" from Harold Melvin and the
the
Blue
Blue
Notes.
Notes. Yeah.
And when I was writing this story, I listened to this song a lot.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I am the biggest Temptations and David Ruffin fan. And if you get a chance, Google it. David Ruffin covered that song. He made a cover version of that song.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. So you can you go to YouTube, check it out, and it's David Ruffin pleading and begging and everything. Oh, I miss you. So just get a chance, check it out.
I gotta check it out.
So this is about all of that. Excuse me. Now, what? I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. What made you? Well, how long have you been writing?
This is my first book.
Okay.
And let's just say when I started last year October, but I didn't finish it until January of this year. And the reason why is because I just underestimated. What I mean by that is that once I decided I was going to write the book, and once I was inspired, which I hope I get a chance to answer that question and tell you where the inspiration came from. Once I put the pen to the paper, so to speak, I realized like, yo, this is not going to be something overnight. You know what I mean? Because once again, my story is 100% truth, not 99, not 98, not 99.9, 100% truth. And so in my mind, I was like, yo, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this right. So if it take me a whole year to write this story, I will. I'm not just going to put anything in there to make the story, go long or anything like that. Everything's authentic. So, and everything didn't come out in one day or a week or even a month. That's how long it took me to get the story done.
Okay. So what kind of reactions have you received from men, women? What kind of reaction? And let me ask you, what has been the reactions from men and women? Have they been similar, different, or what?
Okay, reactions. That's a good question. Before I answer it, will I be the answer or do I gotta?
You can go. You can answer.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Because all right. So first and foremost, okay, reactions. So it was like, oh my God, like I can't believe you actually wrote a book. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody know me. That was one of the things they said. Like once they saw actually on Amazon and I had a photo cover, a picture cover.
Right.
To everybody was like, oh my God, you actually wrote a book. Another reaction, ex-girlfriends. I've at least had 3 to 5 ex-girlfriends once they found I wrote this book, read the book and just basically had some things to say to me as far as like, yo, you was in love with this girl. You love doing this to her. You love this, it was all type of what I love doing to her sexually.
Right.
So I got a lot of that, a lot of it.
Okay.
And then also women, that's how I describe it. I was a stake dangling from the string. A lot of women was coming after me. I mean, leaving me messages like, yo, I would like to try you out. I want you to do this to me. And then women that I dealt with in the past, yeah, you're right. You used to love doing that. So that was a reaction. Now from the fellas, I had one guy, one of my homeboys, who, it wasn't even an argument because me and him homeboys, but he he described it that he thinking that I'm lowering my masculinity by writing this story.
Okay.
And so, you know, again, I'm not a confrontational person. I heard him out exactly why he said that. And my response to him was this. I said, bro, I said, first and foremost, I said, you my man, 100%. But I guarantee you didn't even read the book. You just looking at the title itself and making an assumption, which is fine with me. That's how I told him. I said, look, if you actually read it, I said, it's another part to it, and it's going to be a part 3. So there's messages in the book. You know what I'm saying? So before you just look at a title and just assume what you're assuming, read the story. You know what I'm saying? And so that was the reactions right there.
Okay, so this book, stories and your story, in writing it, what did the writing process do for you? I mean, did it bring up bad memories, or was it? I've talked to a lot of writers, and they usually say things like the writing is cathartic or whatever whatever the case. So for you, what did the writing of this, what did it do to or for you?
Therapeutic. It was healing. It was a lot of heartache and pain as well. Therapeutic because I was able to get everything that was bottled up out. On I say put the pen to the paper, but I actually typed it up. And so it was just a healing process because because I knew that the world was going to see this story. Like one of my homeboys said it best. He's like, bro, you allowed us all in your bedroom. We laughed about it. But it was actually a healing process. Heartache and pain because what you got to understand, sir, I will his name is Kevin, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I give y'all that. His name is Kevin in the book. Kevin loved her so much, you know what I'm saying? And even now that I'm talking about it, like I just don't understand why I didn't win. You know what I'm saying? Because I would have did anything for her. I treated her like a princess every time. I rubbed her feet when she was tired. I rubbed her back when she was sore. I did everything I could just to win this girl over. And when you guys really read this book, you'll see she loved me. But I think now, when I tell the story, I think I come to grips. I think I was just her sexual pleasure.
Okay.
So to speak, you know what I'm saying? Because I was always good enough for that, but I was never good enough to win her over completely.
Oh, okay. If you're just joining us, Talking Books, I'm Dwayne Shigg. Our guest today is Mr. Robert Matthews, and he is the author of She Was the Man and I Was the Woman. It's a, would you call it a love story? Partially?
Yeah, I would say it's a love story because part 1 is pretty much you're going to see how Kevin fell in love, and so yeah, I would say it's definitely part of a love story.
Now, what what if anything? I'm so sorry. If what what did you get from the book? You said it was therapeutic, but was it deliverance, and anything else like that, including therapeutic? I know you said it was therapeutic, but in other areas, did it help you in some other ways?
Yeah, I mean, well, if people, like I said, if you knew me outside of like my personal, I'm never afraid to put myself out there. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just what it done is just reassured me that if I really want to do something, I can do it. Because if you'd have asked me a year ago I was gonna write a book, I looked at you like it was crazy. You know what I mean? And to actually do it, and it's actually on Amazon. And what people don't know, I'm glad I get a chance to say this. When the book hit, it reached #1 in 8 hours. It stayed at new release #1 3 weeks straight. And it's a 5-star. You know what I'm saying? So just to get that for my first time,
Yeah.
I was just like almost speechless.
Elated, I can imagine. So we know what the book did for you, but for the reader, what's the takeaway for the reader?
So that's a good question, but I'm gonna hit you with this right here because pretty much it's they only saw part 1. So I would say right now, what the reader got out of it is you know, you don't have to be scared to tell a love story if you have a love story to tell. How about that? Now, as we move along in the book, if you ask me that again with part two, I have a whole different answer. And if it's a part three, I have a whole different answer. But right now, I would say if you're in love and you actually want to retell a story, tell it. Once again, it might be therapeutic. It might be some healing. Yeah, so.
I like that. I like that. I like that. And uh, this may be a question you can't answer because it's in other parts of the book. But the young lady, has she seen it? Has she read it, or do you know?
Good question. So, all right. So this is why y'all got to get this book, y'all, because you know,
is that too much of a giveaway? You don't.
No. That's not a giveaway. I can answer it perfect. Man, like I was telling you earlier, man. If you all right, you would think that this story ended. If I told it in 2014, right, you would think it ended sometime within 2 to 3 year range. The way I'm telling this story. I can tell you right now it didn't. So that should tell you right there how long me and her dealt with each other, even after this story was over, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? I used to, when me and her was together, I used to say, babe, I'm going to write it. I could stand up in front of a million people and tell our story. I said, I'm going to write a book about us one day. And I laugh when I tell this the way I tell it, because I'm trying to react to her voice. She said, babe, you going to write a story about us? And I'm saying, yes. Are you going to use my name? I was like, no, I'm not going to use the name. It's going to be characters. So I don't think that she thought that I did it. And I haven't, when I actually wrote the story or started writing the story, that's when we was kind of in our last phase, so to speak. So I don't think she knew I wrote the story. And if she did, you know, she haven't reached out to me and said anything about it.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. So I want to find out, let people know how they can get the book, but what's next in this story, in this love story? What's next?
You can call it a series if you want, but yeah. So what's next? So definitely, I want to tell all the viewers out there, it's a part two is coming. Actually, the target date for part two is May 24th. That's a Monday. So please, if you see this, like, please go out and get the book so you could be caught up. And it's a very short read. When I say it's a short read, you get the book. It's only $5 on Amazon Kindle. So you have to have a Kindle app or download the Kindle app. It's probably pretty much 15, 20-minute read. So you're going to want to read it. You're not going to want to skip over and it'll be done just like that, and you'll be ready for part two. Part two, like I said, I'm shooting for May 24th. That's a Monday.
Okay, May 24th, 2021 is for part two. And well, I was going to ask you what will we get in part two, but it's a lot of stuff we got to get out of part one. So tell me, how can people get the book? Tell the people how they can get the copy of part one.
Like I said, you can go on Amazon. You can go Amazon or Amazon Kindle if you got the Kindle app, and just type in "She was the man, I was the woman," and my face actually pop up because I'm on the actual book cover. So okay. You'll see me and you'll know that's the book. Also, you can reach out to me and I can send you the link directly. I love meeting people. I love talking to people. I'm encouraging people to get the book and read it and reach out to me. A stranger can reach out to me and ask me a question if you want to. So once you give me a chance to give my, all my platforms, I'll leave my information and you can reach out to me just like that. And I'll send you the link directly.
Okay. Well, why don't we do that? How can the people contact you? Well, you told them how they can get the book. How can they contact you? Somebody might want to reach out to you. So how can they reach you?
Yes, good question. You can reach out to me, email. If you love email, you can reach me at ravenandrob@gmail.com. You can also find me on Facebook, Robert Matthews. You can find me on Twitter, Robert M988213. And you can find me on YouTube as well at Cool Rob TV. That's all caps. You can look at my videos, and if you can just leave a comment under one of the videos, and so you got several ways to reach me, y'all.
Okay, so in addition to writing, we know you have the part two coming out.
Yes.
What other connections? What other avenues? What else can the people expect from you?
You know what? That's a great question because I was just telling someone earlier, I'm going to probably write a book forever. Okay. my love life and my love stories I can write a book until my time is up on this earth. And so another one is coming. I'm already figured out the title for the next book, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm really gonna retell my love life all over again. I'm not bitter at all. I just need y'all to know that I'm not mad at nobody out there. Again, I'm a storyteller,
Right.
so it's some humor to it. It's gonna be some laughter to it. It's gonna be a message to it. It's gonna be something serious. So all in one. And
Okay.
and one more thing, if you allow me
Go
to
ahead.
get back into part two, you was like, what can we expect? So once again, y'all, when you see part one, it's a love story. Right? Hopefully you read it and then you'll say, oh man, I went through something similar like that. But part two, you're gonna start seeing a love story kind of go down the drain, so to speak, and some of the flaws start coming out. You're gonna start seeing a lot of that as well, with love in the middle of it.
Okay. Mr. Robert Matthews, author of She Was the Man and I Was the Woman. Tell them one more time how they can get this copy and then the part two, the release date.
Yes, so right now you can go on Amazon or Amazon Kindle. You can get the Kindle app and you can type in She Was the Man, I Was the Woman, and my face will pop up on the screen. You'll see me. I'm on the book cover. Yeah, so right there, Amazon or Amazon Kindle. There will be a part two. Target date will be on Amazon Kindle. I'm targeting May 24th. That's a Monday. May 24th. That's a Monday for
Okay.
part two.
May 20, you said May 24th?
Yes.
May 24th, 2021. Now, you said it's on the Kindle app. Is it a paperback also, or is it just Kindle?
Just Kindle.
Okay. Any plans to make it a paperback?
I didn't even think about it. But who knows? If anything, if it makes it better for people to get, I will.
Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Then one more time, tell people how they can get in touch with you. There will be maybe some people that want to contact you about speaking, about the books. Or one more time, how can they reach you?
Yes, you can reach me. If you love email, you can email me at ravenandrob@gmail.com. You can also find me on Facebook, Robert Matthews. You can find me on Twitter, Robert M988213. You can find me on YouTube, Cool Rob TV in all caps. You can go into the video, leave a comment. So that's how you can reach me. And I hope, and I'm encouraging anybody that see this to please reach out to me.
Thank you so much, Mr. Robert Matthews, author of She Was the Man and I Was the Woman. Thank you so much for being with us on Talking Books. And if you are an author and you have a book that you want to tell the world about, you want to consider being a part of being on Talking Books, you'd like to contact us, you can reach us at drshigg@gmail.com. That's drshigg@gmail.com. Also, you can follow me on Instagram at encourageman. That's the letter N, Courage Man. Twitter, Encourage Man, and my Facebook page, Your Encouragement, and that's MINT. And also on YouTube, you can check out some of our other shows and our motivational videos. Once again, Robert Matthews, author, She Was the Man, I Was the Woman. Thank you so much for being with us today, sir.
Thank you so much, and I hope that I'm asking you now. Can I please come back for part two?
That's not a problem. That's not a problem. That's not a problem. And to all of you, dreamers, doers, believers, and achievers, as always, I want you to remember that your dream is doable. Go get it. Stay encouraged. Be blessed.